It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Sportsnet LA presents the Dodgers as they take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Game 2 of a 3-game series with the Cardinals. Dodgers winning last night 8-4. Both teams are 2 games above 500, but what a difference. The Dodgers are in first place, tied with the San Francisco Giants. The Cardinals, they are 8.5 games behind the Chicago Cubs, who won today. By the way, the Dodgers are playing pretty well, especially getting help from the bullpen. The bullpen now has gone 19 innings without allowing an earned run. After the Cardinals leave, and this is kind of important, the Dodgers have 10 games against 3 last-place teams. That's true. They have 4 with the Angels, then they have 3 with San Diego, and 3 more with Cincinnati. So if they're going to go to the whip, this would be a pretty good time, especially after the Cardinals. Standing in the way tonight, Carlos Martinez, a good right-hander. He is 4-2, 2-0 against the Dodgers last year. In fact, he pitched so well against the Dodgers, he allowed just 1 run in 14 innings. So he's 2-1 lifetime. Coming right back for the Dodgers, the left-hander Scott Kazmir. He is 2-3, 1-0 against the Cardinals, but that was way back in 2010 when he was with the Angels. So those are some of the numbers. Pull up a chair, sit back and relax. We got a good ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Saturday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, Game 2 of the 3-game series. Scott Kazmir and Carlos Martinez. The Dodgers winning last night 8-4. Couple of notes about Kazmir before he makes his first pitch. Number one, Kazmir's earned run average in the first inning this year is 9. And you might also be surprised, in the first 15 pitches that he makes in a game, the opposition average against him is .474 with a home run. And remember, the last time he took the mound against the Mets, Curtis Granderson hit the first pitch of the night for a home run. Let's take a quick look at the Cardinals. It'll be Carpenter, Piscotty, and Holliday. Then Moss, Molina, and Grichuk. Jerko, Diaz, and Martinez in that order. Stepping into the box is Matt Carpenter and Scott Kazmir ready. So you know the numbers, and we'll see how it develops. Scott looks in, gets a sign. Carpenter checks in, left-hand batter. And Scott's first pitch over the top, and that's in for a strike. And the count 0-1. Good action on that pitch. Going in and got the corner. Carpenter, a couple of walks last night, walked 3 times and went 0 for 2. Kazmir from the third base side of the rubber. Scott staring down, getting a sign from Grandal. Now the strike one pitch, that's lifted into left center, but it's very playable. Peterson coming over, and he will make the catch in front of Carl Crawford. Let's take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. They go with Gonzalez and Utley, Seager and Turner, Crawford, Peterson, and Puig, and Grandal behind the plate. So 1 out here in the first inning, and the batter will Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty last night had a base hit in the 9th inning. Otherwise, he wound up going 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a walk. Good-looking young ball player and the right fielder for the Cardinals. Pitch is low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. On this 14th of May, the temperature tonight right now 67 degrees. Kazmir very deliberate. The 1-0 pitch on the way is flipped way inside, almost got him at the rib cage. 2-0 the count is Stephen. You can understand after the numbers we told you about the first inning that Kazmir very, very cautious, careful. And his 2-0 pitch on the way, and Piscotty pops it up. It'll be on the right side in foul ground. Coming down is Adrian Gonzalez to make the catch, and just like that, 2 down in the first inning. Matt Holliday will be coming up, right-hand batter. And looking at the work with Kazmir, see how he is done against the various Cardinal hitters. He has faced Holliday, and Holliday has chewed him up. Holliday is 4 for 9 with 2 home runs. Kazmir looking down for the moment, turns ready, delivers to the big right-hand batter who fouls it back, and the count 0-1. Brandon Moss, a left-hand batter, is playing first base tonight. He's 2 for 4 against Kazmir in the past. Yadier Molina 0 for 2, and that's about it. No balls and 1 strike to count. We're just starting, 2 down first inning. Nice crowd on hand tonight. The replica stadium presented by Farmer John has been given out. Kazmir turns, high kick, back with a fastball that shoots low and away. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. The Dodgers all wearing a little badge just above the name Dodgers on the left-hand side. The pitch is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. The battle cry in baseball encouraging the kids, play ball. All the Dodgers, I believe the Cardinals would be doing it as well. So 2-1 the count. No score, first inning. Kazmir ready, Holliday waiting, 2-1 pitch in on the hands, and the count goes ball 3. So remember, the cleanup hitter against Kazmir this year is batting .571. and a big burly left-hand batter on deck. 3-1 pitch to Holiday. Change up in there for a strike. That was 74 miles an hour. Great pitch. Now 3-2, and everybody in the world expects a fastball, but let's see what he gets. Kazmir straight open, now turns on the rubber. 3-2 pitch, fastball swung on and missed. So a 93-mile-an-hour Swifty. Holiday wanted to make sure he swung at a strike, and the Cardinals go down 1-2-3, much to the relief of Scott Kazmir. And at the end of half an inning, no score. In the ball game, the Cardinals went out in order, and we'll take a look now at Dave Roberts' club, and it'll be Chase Utley leading off at second base. Then it'll be Corey Seager at short, Justin Turner at third, Adrian Gonzalez at first. Then you have Yasmani Grandal behind the plate, Jock Peterson in center, Puig in right, Crawford in left, Kazmir the pitcher, and already in the box, Chase Utley. On the mound, young right-hander Carlos Martinez. He'll be 25 in September. They love him in St. Louis. He's a very outgoing guy, very charitably minded. In fact, many years ago, he thought about becoming a priest, and then he became involved in baseball, and his life changed dramatically. Young right-hander's first pitch goes to the backstop, ball one, 1-0. Chase Utley has found a home. He's played here at Dodger Stadium 66 games, and he has a solid .270 batting average, and this year hitting .296 and over .300 against the Cardinals. He looks at a strike, and the count 1-1 strike. Carlos Martinez, an even 6, 180. There was some problem. He was raised by his uncle, whose last name was Matias because his mom had died. Ground ball back at first, knocked down by Moss, fires low, gets away from Martinez covering, and the Cardinals are at it again. Remember, last night they committed 4 errors, and the first play tonight, that has to be a boot. Diaz last night, the shortstop, made 3. Big ground ball backing up, dropped by Moss, picks it up, then throws low, and it gets away, so I would assume Moss would certainly get the error. For the Cardinals, the worst fielding team right now. I mean, they've now made 34 errors. That's shocking so early. And the infield has made 29. And we're just starting. There's only been 36 games played. So the Cardinals struggling. And the batter now will be Corey Seager, who takes way outside, ball one. So Corey Seager trying to move things along, hitting .269. He's reached base safely 9 of the last 10. Martinez has been under the weather. He had a respiratory problem, lost about 15 pounds. Ground ball to the second baseman. They will get 2. So Jerko starts it, feeding Diaz, and just like that, the double play is promptly erased.
10, Justin Turner.
4-6-3 here in the first inning. Justin Turner coming up. For the Cardinals, of course, it's obvious, and I don't mean to rub it in for the young shortstop, but last night it was a nightmare for Diaz when he made 3 errors, and not mention what it did to the sleep habits of Mike Matheny. And Diaz, who can swing that bat, is playing for Johnny Peralta. The first pitch is high, ball 1. Peralta has been out with a bad thumb, and that has been certainly a hole on the left side. 2 down, Turner up there, 1 ball and no strikes. Martinez back with a fastball in there, and the count 1-1. So Justin trying to get started. A little slow start. Meanwhile, Martinez, with the help of the double play, has 2 out. Right-hander set, and his 1-1 pitch, and that misses low and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Give you an idea about young Carlos. Last Thursday, when it was Cinco de Mayo, Martinez spent the evening at a church to help raise money for the school, and part of it involved a salsa instructor taking the chain. Ground ball to Moss, overhands to Martinez, and that's the inning. Anyway, the crowd wanted him to get up. Carlos shyly got up and did the salsa and got more money for the church. And at the end of an inning, hi kids, no score. Game, the Dodgers and the Cardinals, and we're showing those folks watching on television the stadium, the replica stadium of Dodger Stadium. It's certainly a wonderful little memento to take home from those who are here. Now Scott Kazmir working on Brandon Moss, gets a strike, and the count 0-1. Scotty has to be very careful. The number 4 hitter in the lineup is batting .571 against him with 2 home runs. Moss, who's bounced around, played for several teams, left-hand batter, swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. The Cardinals, well, they can score runs. They hit for extra bases. They're high up in doubles and triples and home runs, and they hit home runs on the road as well. The next pitch is waved at and missed, and Moss goes down. Second strikeout for Kazmir, and in order, you got Holiday to end the first. So 1 out, and Yadier Molina coming up. Molina hitting .341. Outstanding ball player, tremendous catcher, and for the last 4 games, wow, 9 for 16, batting .563. Kazmir ready, right hand hitting Molina takes, and it's off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Molini last night, single to right, single to left, grounded out and struck out, 2 for 4. Kazmir back with a fastball that zooms in for a strike, and the count 1-1. The amazing part of the Cardinals is their bench. They've already had 7 pinch hit home runs and 9 pinch hit RBIs. 1-1 pitch is lined into right field. Here comes Puig, and it's a diving catch. Head first on the grass. So Yadier Molina now making it a habit. He took 2 away, you remember, from Juan Lagares with diving head first catches. And he shows he can do it against the Cardinals, making a great play to take a hit away from Molina. So Yasiel saves a base hit, 2 down, and Randall Grichuk will be coming up. So a big play helps Kazmir out. 2 down, 2nd inning, and no score. Cardinals are very aggressive. They will swing at the first pitch. And here comes Kazmir, high, ball 1. One of the things the Cardinals do not do, they don't steal bases. And offensively, they've really been inconsistent. The 1-0 pitch on the way, fastball, seemed to have a little sink to it, swung on and missed. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Randall Grichuk, he was the boy drafted ahead of Mike Trout. Made a sensational catch last night in dead center. Took a home run away from Howie Kendrick. Takes another fastball a little low. And a 2-1 count to Randall Grichuk. Howie, not playing tonight, has to think about how hard he hit that ball, and it was daylight robbery. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Grichuk, right-hand batter, waves at a changeup way out in front of it. 2-2 the count. Kazmir now has made 21 pitches in the frame from 16 to 30 pitches. The opposition is hitting only 227 against him. And when he gets to 31 to 45, they're hitting only 136. Fastball just misses. 3-2 the count. Hitting behind Grichuk, Jed Jerko, the Mountaineer from West Virginia and formerly from the San Diego Padres. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way, and Grichuk swings and misses. So that's 3 strikeouts for Kazmir in the first 2 innings. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score, with Gonzalez due to lead it off in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We've already seen a nice diving catch of a line drive caught by Puig. As far as Scott Kazmir is concerned, he has struck out 3 in 2 innings. And now Carlos Martinez ready to start the second with Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Gonzalez starting to speed it up now, hitting .284, 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. Not much luck against Martinez, 1 for 10, and takes off the plate. We mentioned about Martinez with that respiratory problem that swept through the Cardinal clubhouse. He had a bad cough for about 10 days, and as we said, lost 15 pounds. Next pitch is dribbled up along first. Gonzalez jumps over the pitcher, only to have a bad throw down the line. Boy, I'll tell you what, these birds are flying the wrong way. They're going to go and see. I think they're going to want to look where Martinez was and where Gonzalez is. See, Gonzalez is running inside the line. He's not in the lane, and that's why the lane is there. Then he got in the lane. So let's see if they rule it. And it looks like they're going to let him get away with it. The throw over the head of Brandon Moss. So he was not running in the lane. Then he finally got in the lane, avoiding the collision with Martinez. And then the high throw to first base. It's going to go as a base hit, believe it or not. And the batter will Yasmani Grandal. So Gonzalez very fortunate on that one. And Grandal trying to keep it going with a home run in 2 straight games that he's played. Hitting .250 with 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Martinez drops the next one in for a strike. And the count 1-1. Carlos, an even 6, maybe about 170 instead of 180. Great all-around athlete. Tell you why. The Cardinals signed him as a pitcher, but before that he had to deal with the Red Sox for $160,000 as a shortstop. Then they had problems with the last name. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, 1-2. Raised by his uncle, whose name is Carlos Matias. That kind of messed him up. Finally, they put it together, the visa, the birth date, etc., and his true name, Carlos Martinez. He's a kid with tremendous confidence. Matheny really loves that. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Yasmani Grandal. Say, friends, receive a Dodger welcome mat. That'll be Tuesday when the Dodgers face the Angels. Available to the first 40,000 fans in attendance, courtesy of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Martinez gives up a fluke single, strikes out Grandal, and the batter now is Jock Peterson. Jock hitting .261. 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in. 1 away, and the pitch is popped foul off to the left out of play. Carlos Martinez, by the way, wears number 18. When he came to the Cardinals, they originally gave him 44, and he said, please, please give me number 18. That was the number his late friend and teammate Oscar Taveras wore. You may remember the outfielder died in a car accident in October. No balls and 1 strike. Carlos delivers high and away. The two were kids. They played Little League. They were the closest of friends. And Martinez was absolutely crushed upon the death of Oscar Taveras. One of the things that the Cardinals did was follow the advice of Yadier Molina. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Peterson takes high, ball 2. Molina went to the manager and said, how about moving the kids' locker next to mine in spring training? They thought, oh, what a great idea. So all spring, young Martinez sat next to the best catcher around, Yadier Molina, constantly asking questions. And of course, Matheny, the catcher himself, was thrilled with the idea. Pitch way outside, ball 3, 3-1. So Martinez had a fluke single waiting on deck. Yasier Peterson waiting. Puig looking for a chance to get up there. We're in the bottom of the second. No score, just really starting. Martinez at the belt, right-handed delivers, and that's high, ball 4. So on the squib single by Gonzalez, a strikeout, then a walk, and here comes Puig. Yasiel Puig has already made his presence known, making that dying catch on the ball hit by Molina in the second inning. The Yasier checking in. Puig hitting .244. He had a big night last night. 3 for 5 with a home run, a couple of ribbies. He has 4 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Martinez 2 on, 1 out. Comes to his hitter and it's swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Puig, for one reason or another, has always had a great deal of success against the Cardinals. Lifetime in his young career, he's hitting .378 against the Cardinals. Here's the strike one pitch coming up. Martinez very careful, checking, delivers, fastball high. In 13 regular season games against the Cardinals, Puig has not only hit well, he's scored 11 runs. So the Dodgers have Fu on, 1 out, second inning, no score, and the 1-1 pitch coming up to Yasiel Puig, and that's a breaking ball, but it stayed up. 2-1 the count. Waiting and hitting behind Puig is Carl Crawford. Gonzalez at second, Peterson at first, 1 out. We're just starting, bottom of the second, no score. Nice crowd on hand. And the 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on, ground ball to short, the shovel for 1. They will turn it for 2. So Seager hit into a double play in the first inning. Puig hits into 1 in the second inning, and at the end of 2, no score. It will be Jed Jerko, followed by the young shortstop, Aledmys Diaz, and then the pitcher, Carlos Martinez. Scott Kazmir has struck out 3 in 2 innings, retired the side in order. to give him 6 in a row. Got a little help on that diving catch by Puig. We can tell you the Giants are leading the D-backs 3-1 in the 5th inning. Hunter Pence hit a 2-run home run. First pitch off speed and in for a strike. 0-1 to Jerko. One thing about the Cardinals, they might make it tough on themselves with all their errors, but they have won 10 games following a loss. So we'll see if that holds up tonight. Matheny and company lost last night 8-4. Matt Carpenter leading off, and the rest of the club had a very awkward night. The next pitch is banged into left field for a base hit. The Crawford plays for it on a hop, and Jed Jerko a line drive single to bring up Diaz. Diaz might be very shaky with the glove, but boy, he really knows what he's doing with the bat. Hitting .387, 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in, 2 for 4 with a home run and a double. So he has done a tremendous job offensively, still trying to get well defensively. Casimir looks over at first, long look at first, high kick now to the plate, fastball away. Some pitchers don't want to have the so-called slide step where your feet really stay close to the ground. You don't kick your leg up. Casimir, however, will not change his delivery. He'll really kick that right leg high in the air, come to the plate, gets it for a strike. Why? Well, a lot of pitchers feel that they lose a little something with the slide step. And apparently Casimir's one of them. And of course, being a left-hander, that's a little extra break anyway. He works from the third base side of the rubber, and he's looking right at the runner, Jerko. 1-1 pitch is instead a throw to first. Jerko does not do any running. The Cardinals really not that much of a running club. They've stolen 12 and they've been caught 5 times. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Diaz. Again, here comes Casimir. Change up in for a strike. 74 miles an hour. Diaz started to swing, pulled his hands back, and the ball still wasn't there. And a great pitch for a strike. 1-2 the count. No score, top of the 3rd inning. Casimir ready, staring across at first. High kick now to the plate, and it's whacked foul down the left field line out of play. Tell you one thing, if Peralta comes back, the Cardinals are going to have to find a way to play this kid. Boy, can he handle the bat. Diaz back up in a 1-2 count. He's from Santa Clara in Cuba. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Casimir delivers another change high underway. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Diaz had a 5-hit game earlier this year. 2-2 the count. Casimir at the belt, staring at Jerko. Long look now to the plate, and it's reached for. It was out of the strike zone. Ground ball to short for 1. The throw to first, not in time. So the hitter Diaz badly fooled on the pitch. He actually reached across the plate to chase it and hits into the force play. The ball was not hit hard enough to turn 2. So it was a bad pitch and a bad swing, and it turns out to be a force play. Now let's see. Dave Roberts going out. I wonder if something's wrong with Casimir. Or Dave just wants to talk. With Martinez 1 out and a runner at first, you assume that he's going to be bunting. So thinking ahead, the Dodgers want to take a look. Among other things, they know that Diaz has stolen 1 of 2. So they got to work on a couple of things, either the throw to first or the bunt. Dave now goes back. Diaz with Carlos Martinez coming up. Martinez has 3 hits and 3 runs batted in, believe it or not. And in 14 at-bats, he's only struck out 3 times. They say he is a wonderful kid and a fine young pitcher. So now let's see what he does with the bat. The Dodgers pull up the corners looking bunt. He shows bunt. Casimir to the plate, and it's way outside. Ball 1. 1-0. Carlos Martinez. They call him Little Pedro. He reminds a lot of people of Pedro Martinez, who actually worked with him to teach him the changeup. Now the 1-0 pitch, instead a throw to first, almost picking Gonzalez off. He had to retreat in a hurry. So we'll see what Mike Matheny comes up with on a 1-0 count. Will it be just the bunt and leave it up to Carpenter on deck? Martinez showing bunt. Casimir at the belt. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a high chopper to Seager, and he can't make the play. So their runners at first and second. It's one of those high choppers. The only way you're going to get it is to be on the dead run and short hop it, and he couldn't do it. That's exactly what happened to Diaz last night. Same kind of a play. So the high chop, the sweep, and you come up empty. So it'll be an error charged to Seager. And now the Cardinals have first and second with 1 out. And Matt Carpenter coming up. So Casimir in a little jam here. Seager committing his 5th error. And the first pitch is dropped down on a good bunt. Casimir picks it up, fires to first in time. He was bunting for a base hit, but he did get the runners to second and third. So Matt Carpenter drops the bunt. He was bunting for a hit for sure. So Carpenter is out. First base open, and the right hand hitting Stephen Piscotty coming up. Piscotty hitting .315. He's another fine young hitter coming up and out of the Cardinal chain. 5 home runs, 22 runs batted in. So Casimir with 2 out, but still in a little mess here. And Piscotty checks in. Left-hander Casimir delivers, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. Piscotty went to school at Stanford. He's from Pleasanton, California. He was a 45th round pick by the Dodgers about 7 years ago, but he opted to get the baseball scholarship to Stanford. Smart boy. The 1-0 pitch on the way is low, pushed out in front of the plate by Grandal. Second and third. Casimir trying to work his way out of a jam here in the third. Piscotty, you can understand, as a child used to go to Stanford baseball games with his uncle. He dreamt of playing, and here he is. 2-0 pitch on the way to Steve. Swung on, little comebacker down along the third baseline, and the throw to first is in time. It was a check swing and a little dribbler, and Casimir was able to make the play. So the Dodgers survived the inning. No runs, 1 hit, an error, 2 left, and middle of the third, no score. score in the ball game. The Cardinals leave runners at second and third. So far in the two games, the Cardinals are 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. The Cardinals have scored in double figures 7 times this year. They've scored 2 runs or less 10 times in their losses. They've been shut out 3 times. 6 losses where they scored 1 run, and 1 loss where they scored 2. So they are indeed very inconsistent. Although they have 52 home runs, 27 have been hit on the road. So the Cardinals are spinning their wheels, or whatever birds do when they can't get off the ground. And in the bottom of the third, here's Carl Crawford. Line drive right back into the glove of Carlos Martinez. 1 away.
Pitcher number 29, Scott Kazmir.
So a line drive right at Martinez' belt buckle, and somehow he got his glove up and just held on to it, looking into the glove as if, look what I found. So 1 away, and the batter now will be Scott Kazmir, as Crawford shaking his head. How in the world can I hit the ball that hard and hit it at the pitcher? So 1 away. Kazmir followed by Utley. Martinez has made 26 pitches. He's in that zone where the hitters are batting 154 against him. Kazmir takes ball 1, 1-0. Martinez ready again, and the 1-0 pitch. This time he drills it in there for a strike. Carlos Ernesto Martinez facing Scott Kazmir. Over the top fastball bunt attempt. He wanted to drag it, and he left it in Molina's mitt, and the count 1-2. Bottom of the third, no score, 1 out. Martinez from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. The 1-2 pitch, another bunt attempt, and Kazmir goes down. That would be the second strikeout racked up by Carlos Martinez, and Chase Utley will be coming up. Martinez is so full of energy. That's the thing that Mike Matheny has to take care of. He admires the energy and the aggressiveness, but at the same time it can easily get out of control when you're as young as he is. So they have to calm him down a little bit. He has a habit, for instance, if a teammate hits a home run, he gets so excited he gets water and pours it on the player's head. First pitch to Utley misses, 1 ball and no strikes. 2 down, third inning, no score. The Giants starting to wake up and play pretty good ball. Next pitch to Utley missing. Giants are leading 3-1 in the 6th. That's a Jake Peavy, Patrick Corbin game. Wow, Peavy comes in with an earned run average of about 8.5. Utley waits. 2-0 pitch on the way to Chase, and it hits him up around the right shoulder, and down to first base he goes. So Chase takes it on the shoulder as he turns away from the pitch. And that'll bring up Seager, who grounded into a double play in the first inning. For Martinez, in hitting a batter, that's kind of news. That's only the second one he's hit. Interesting how the world of baseball works. Sitting in the Cardinal dugout is Ruben Tejada, and the pitch high, ball 1. Remember the controversy as Ruben leans on the railing of Utley sliding in, etc. Well, it's good to know that Tejada's okay and is playing. But right now, even with Peralta out, there's no room for Tejada because of the way Diaz swings the bat. So Utley at first, 2 down, third inning, no score. And here is Seager. 1 ball and no strikes. hitting .267. Martinez delivers fastball grounded into left field for a base hit. Utley makes a turn and holds on as Holliday gets it back in. So with 2 out, a hit batter and a base hit, and the Dodgers are in business for Justin Turner. The second hit allowed by Carlos Martinez. Justin Turner grounded out. Brandon Moss to his pitcher Martinez covering. Turner 0 for 5 last night, 0 for 1 tonight, batting average of .243. He has hit safely 5 of 7 games in his career against the Cardinals. Martinez ready, right-handed fastball is punched on the ground. Taking his time is the second baseman Jerko and allowing the ball to come to him. And Turner is done 4-3 if you're scoring. So no runs, 1 hit, a hit batter and 2 left. And at the end of 3, no score. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the Dodge Challenger. Test drive one at your local Dodge dealer today. And by Energy Upgrade California. Energy tips, rebates, and financing options are available at energyupgradeca.org. Amazingly enough, as you look at that old picture of Branch Rickey and Leo Durocher, both of them had very serious affiliations with the Cardinals. Leo played for the Cardinals for about 4 or 5 years. Branch Rickey, when he ran the Cardinals, really invented the system where you pile up a lot of minor league clubs and then you pile up a lot of minor league players and you grow them to become big leaguers. Well, here's Matt Holliday, then Brandon Moss and Yadier Molina. 1 ball and no strikes. Holliday struck out in the first inning. Holds up on a change. They look, no swing. You know, in the long history of the Cardinals, there have been only 15 career 300 hitters, led by the great Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby, lifetime 359 while hitting with the Cardinals. That's a ground ball right side. Nice big hop. Nice play by Utley. By the way, another note by Utley, when he was hit by the pitch, he's been hit a total of 183 times. That's 10th all time. 183. Ouch. So 1 away. Here's Brandon Moss, struck out in the second inning. No score, 4th inning. Oh, and 1. Get back to the Cardinals and the 15 career 300 hitters. Right behind Lou Brock is Matt Holliday, who was hitting .297 when he grounded out. Stan Musial. Oh, yes. Fastball in there. 0-2. Stan Musial hit .331 and sits atop the list with the Cardinals. 475 home runs. What a player. Strike 2 pitch, down and away. Ball 1. 1-2. Kazmir comes back 1-2. Slow curve, lifted to right field, playable. Puig's at the other end of it, moving to his right, and makes the catch for the second out. They tell me, of course, I wouldn't know, but Musial would come up to the plate, curl up in that hitting style as if he was peeking around the corner of a building, and he would take a pitch and he would say to the catcher something like, "Oh, wow, what a breaking ball that was." Well, the catcher would think, "Oh, really? Well, if you think it's that great, let's have another one." And he'd hit that thing out of town. Fastball strike, 0-1. Stan, as successful a hitter as he was a wonderful human being, and everybody in baseball loved him. 0-1 to Yadier. Lost a hit on a diving catch by Yasiel Puig. You want to take a picture of Stan the man? He would get in and settle in and wiggle his hips. And when we were back in Brooklyn, and in those days they had Ladies' Day. Have you ever heard of that? I mean, where ladies were allowed in free. 1-2. Yeah, that lasted a long time until finally somebody said, "Wait a minute. If the ladies are getting in free, why can't the men get in free?" And that was the end of it. But Stan would get in that left-hand hitter's box and wiggle his hips, and the ladies would laugh. Change up. 2-2. Molina 0 for 1 on that great play by Puig. No score, top of the 4th. And that's whacked to left. Here comes Crawford and caught it. It almost took off to go over his head, and Carl stayed with it. The hardest play for an outfielder. That line drive hit right at him. Take another look. Whoops, hold on. And he stayed with the play. And at the end of 3.5, no score. Fourth inning, Dodgers coming up. It'll be Gonzalez, Grandal, and Peterson. Big numbers, bringing back great memories. 42, of course, will always be remembered. for Jackie Robinson. One other, I guess you'd call it, little known note about Stan Musial. Hardly anybody called him Stan. Everybody called him Stash, which I believe is Polish. Musial was of Polish heritage. So here we go with Gonzalez, a high fly ball into deep left center. Grichuk on the run. It is gone. So Adrian Gonzalez going the other way and hits it out into the stands in left center. And the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. For Gonzalez, his 4th home run, 20 RBIs, and the Dodgers out in front 1-0. For Carlos Martinez, that would be the 5th home run that he has allowed this year. Carlos getting the high fives in the dugout. And here's Grandal, who takes a breaking ball that drops in for a strike, and the count 0-1. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the Cardinals. Next pitch pulled on the ground to the right side. Backing up is Jerko and makes the play. 1 away. Take another look. Adrian went with a pitch that was tailing away from him. And he's strong enough to clear the left center field wall. Not by much, but he doesn't have to hit it by much. And Puig loved it. So Gonzo gets him on the board, and now Jock Peterson, who walked in the 2nd inning. That's in for a strike. A couple of baseball notes about Carlos Martinez. He wins on the road. Pass ball away. In his career, 12-6 on the road. However, he's basically been, of course he's only 25, he's been a first half of the season pitcher. 16-9 the first half, 6-5 the second half. Next one misses. 2-1. Base stealers do not run very well against him, and he likes to pitch on 5 days rest. On 5 days rest, he is 10-2 with an earned run average of 2. That's a high fly ball down the left field line. Holiday coming over, fair ground, now in foul. So 2 down. And Yasiel Puig coming up. By the way, and then I'll get off it, but I admired him so much as a player and a man. Stan Musial had 1,815 hits at home. On the road, 1,815 hits. At home, he hit 326. On the road, he hit 326. So you want to talk about a consistent man. Stan Musial. Incredible. All right, Puig waiting at the plate. Cardinals, of course, were called the Gas House Gang back in the 30s. Little chopper to third, Carpenter takes care of, and the Dodgers are done. A wrong field home run by Adrian Gonzalez. Show you he is strong enough. Pitch was away, and he hits it over the wall. And at the end of 4, Dodgers 1, Cardinals nothing. on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota time is going on now. Save big on the striking all-new 2016 Prius. See your local dealer today. Dodgers lead 1-0 in the fifth inning. A look back to Vero Beach, 1950. Pee Wee Reese and 7 kids right there waiting for his autograph. It was that easy in those days. So here's Randall Gritchett, struck out in the second inning. Off-speed breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Last night I was talking about how I love the Cardinal uniform with the bird sitting on the bat, and I also love the stockings. Well, Gritch is the one guy wearing the uniform the way it was always worn, where you actually see those red stockings with the white and black rings, and then of course the birds on the back. Great uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. Kazmir, once upon a time, you might forget, he was an American League strikeout champion back in 2007, but he lost a lot with injuries. Just took the velocity away from him and his command. Fouled away. Scotty was pitching in the Independent League. The York Revolution was the name of the team in the summer of 2012. Everybody thought, well, he's done. He's down here in independent ball, finishing up. Good fastball to take care of Pritchett. Oh, we have 1 out in the 5th inning. Say, friends, don't miss the annual Freeway Series driven by Lexus when the Dodgers and Angels face off at Dodger Stadium Monday and Tuesday. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/tickets. Dodgers have a golden opportunity to make a move. You know, they're tied with the Giants right now. But after the Cardinals, 10 straight against last place teams. Admittedly, there's a reason the Angels are certainly banged up, but they're still last. They play the Angels 4 here and there. Then San Diego 3, and come home and play the Reds for 3, all occupying last place. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike count. Fouled away. When Kazmir was pitching for the York, Pennsylvania Revolution, in the shadow of what they call the arch nemesis, the name given to the imposing left field wall that's actually 6 inches taller than Fenway Park's Grand Master, the Green Monster. 1-2 pitch, 2-2. So it's actually taller than the Green Monster. And while pitching down there, that's when Kazmir suddenly got the fastball. It came back. Jerko singled. He's 1 for 1. And sound like a cracked bat. It's a 1-hopper to Seager. And throws it away. So Corey comes up with his 2nd error. 1-0 favor of the Dodgers, but Seager fields it, takes dead aim, and it just sailed on him high over the head of Gonzalez. Down to second base goes Jerko. So the tying run is there at second base with 1 out. There's Diaz, a very good looking hitter, batting .384. And ball 1. Jerko holding at second. Anyway, just to conclude with Kazmir, he was pitching for the Sugarland Skeeters against the York, Pennsylvania Revolution. And all of a sudden, he threw a couple of pitches, 88, 89, started to feel his legs were working, and that was the beginning of his comeback. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 Dodgers, 5th inning. And a strike. You can just imagine his thoughts. I mean, one time he was the American League strikeout champion, and the next thing he's pitching for the Sugar Land Skeeters against the York, Pennsylvania Revolution. Wow. And he has come back. 1-1. Bounced that pitch, blocked by Yasmani, so Jed holding on at second base. Well, sometimes it rubs off. You know, the Cardinals made 4 errors last night, so the Dodgers come back and they make 2 tonight. So the shortstops are having a great 2 games. Diaz made 3 errors last night, and Seager's made 2 so far tonight. 2-1 the count. There you go. 1 hit, and the Dodgers leading by 1. Wow, behind him all the way to the backstop, and easily going down to third is Jerko. So not only a wild pitch, a very dangerous pitch. And I'm sure it was not intentional. He wasn't thrown behind the hitter to hurt him, but it's very dangerous because your instinct at the plate is to back away. And in that instance, Diaz could have backed right into the pitch. 3-1 the count. You have the pitcher, Martinez, on deck. Tying run 90 feet away. Left side of the infield is up. Right side is deep. And it's up to Diaz to make contact to get his man home. Or will they walk him? 3-2. Fastball up. He's checking with the umpire. It was a borderline pitch. Aledmys Diaz. Three and two. Off speed, whacked down the left field line and going foul. A 3-2 changeup instead of a fastball, and Diaz almost hit it out. He was all over that pitch. 77 miles an hour, and the Dodgers were fortunate that hooked foul. Kazmir talking to himself, go foul, and it did. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at third, 1-0 Dodgers, top of the 5th. Kazmir a little too close for comfort. And that's ball 4. So an error by Seager,
18,
a wild
Martinez.
pitch and a walk. First and third, 1 out. Martinez reached on an error by Seager in the 3rd inning. Carlos 0 for 1, hitting 200, but he does have 3 runs batted in. He also has 3 singles, and he has only struck out 3 times. And he has 1 sacrifice if you're thinking about bunt. The Cardinals, when they came here, were leading the National League in hitting with runners in scoring position. They were hitting .295. So far for Matheny, his club is 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. So he's got 1 at third and Diaz at first. 1 out. Swing by Martinez, a line drive to left. Crawford makes the catch. Tagging up, coming to the plate to score is Jerko. And so Carlos Martinez, the young pitcher, hits the ball to left field to drive in the tying run. And of course, Corey Seager feels terrible about his 2nd error. Justin Turner hoping that maybe Jerko had led third too soon, but he did not. So it's an RBI for the young pitcher. Pretty good. He has 4 runs batted in. Dodgers want to check, and he did leave third properly. Crawford makes the catch there, and now Jerko takes off. So the error, the wild pitch, and it's cashed in. Sac fly for starter Carlos Martinez. So with a 1-1 tie and a runner at first, 2 out, Carpenter is flied to second. And remember when he bunted in the 3rd inning, they gave him a sacrifice, although with 1 out, you know, it was really trying to bunt for a base hit. Carpenter came in hitting .262. He has 7 home runs. Holds up on a change. 0-1. We mentioned it last night. Last spring, Carpenter, feeling full of himself, said to Adam Wainwright, "I'm going to hit 20 home runs this year." And Adam said, "Oh, baloney." So they started, and Adam said, "I'll tell you what, you hit 20 home runs, I'll buy you a golf cart." He hit 28. Diaz at first. In looking at his numbers, he has stolen 1 and he's been caught once. Utley playing just about 2 feet out on the grass. 0-1 the count. Fastball in there at the knees. 0-2 the count to Matt Carpenter. 1-1 tie in the 5th. Carpenter hitting .267 on this road trip. Report: the Giants lead the D-backs 3-2 in the 7th inning. In the bottom of the 7th inning, the D-backs scored on a force play at second. So we'll keep an eye on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. There goes the runner. The pitch is swung on and lifted to left field. Crawford is there. Carl makes the catch, and that's the inning. However, an error at short, then a wild pitch, and the fly ball by Martinez gets the tying run home. We're 1-1, bottom of the 5th. One tie. What's interesting about one run on one hit for the Cardinals, 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Home run by Adrian Gonzalez. Carl Crawford hit a line drive right back into Carlos Martinez's glove in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. We mentioned earlier about days in between starts, talking about Carlos Martinez. How he is so good on 5 days rest, not good on 4 days rest. Well, the last time he pitched, remember, he's had that respiratory problem. Last time he pitched was on the 6th of May. So 8 days ago. And you know he's not as strong as he should be, having lost about 15 pounds while he was indeed sick. Interesting enough, he usually has troubles in May anyway. In his career, he is 2-6 in May after going 7-1 in April. 2-2 to Carl Crawford. We also mentioned earlier at the start of the game, he is very good in the first half of the season. Well, the first half, he has done well. First 3 months. Then July, August, and September, he has struggled. From April to June, he would have 14 wins, and he would have 8 losses, but 6 of the 8 in May. So he's a fine young pitcher. 6 or more days rest, 1 and 3. And ball 4 to Crawford. You know a standout high school senior athlete? If you do, then nominate them for a chance to be named a Time Warner Cable Sports Championship Drive Scholar Athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. So go to twcschamp.com now for more information. 1-1 tie, bottom of the 5th. Crawford aboard with a walk. Cardinals look bunt from Kazmir. Kazmir coming in was 0 for 7 and had struck out all 7 times. He tried to bunt for a base hit in the 3rd inning and struck out. And certainly now you would look for him to bunt, but not before Molina goes out to talk to Martinez. Well, they certainly gather around to hear Yadier, certainly the most protected man on that infield. You know, you've seen and you've heard about the 5-man infield. It was originally designed for this situation. You would bring an extra man to play in the infield, and that was to make a weak hitting pitcher swing away. Ball 1. You don't hear about that. They just load up the infield, but that was the original idea of Branch Rickey. Make a weak hitting pitcher swing. But they've stuck with the 4-man infield. 1 ball and no strikes. Crawford, short lead at first. The bunt is missed. 1-1. Scott taking a long look. Chris Woodward hanging out a sign. Dodgers won on a home run by Gonzalez. Cardinals won on an error, a wild pitch, and a sacrifice fly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tried to bunt. 1-2. Scotty is a pitcher from head to toe when it comes to swinging the bat. Crawford held on by Brandon Moss, listening to George Lombard, his coach. 1-2 strikes. Carpenter ready to come from third, and the bunt is down, and it gets by Martinez. Would you believe it? Scott Kazmir has a base hit. Well, I'll tell you one thing, this series will not be remembered for fielding artistry. Great bunt. And now the Dodgers have runners at first and second. Nobody out. Two on, nobody out. Utley, Seager, and Turner now with the door wide open. Utley reached on an error and was hit by a pitch. Away, ball one. Chase hit by the pitch, though he's been nailed 183 times. Of course, you get up to Ron Hunt and Don Baylor, guys who really got hit. One and 0. Utley, tired of waiting, backed out, though no pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Chase giving the Dodgers a tremendous job at second base. You have to put on a tremendous job if you're going to keep Howie Kendrick sitting down. Crawford at second. Kazmir at first. 2-0 the count. Saturday Night Live here at Dodger Stadium. Enthusiastic, large crowd. Two and 0. Two on, nobody out. And ball 3. Throwing hard, 97, but it doesn't mean a thing if it's outside of the strike zone. And Corey Seager, who would love to make up for his 2 errors, on deck. Three balls and no strikes. And ball 4, the bases are loaded. Two walks and a ball that didn't leave the infield. Bases loaded, nobody out. Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach for the Cardinals, who certainly pitched in the big leagues. Derek lives and has lived in Vero Beach for a long time, along the Dodgers training grounds. Molina is doing a lot of talking too. So Martinez in a mess here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Lilliquist jogging back. And Corey Seager with Justin Turner on deck. Seager hit into a double play and single to left. So you have Crawford at third, Kazmir at second, Utley at first. A 1-1 tie, bottom of the 5th inning. And Martinez in a lot of trouble. Not a ball thrown, however, in the Cardinal bullpen. And a strike. Throwing very hard, 99. That's the hardest he has thrown today. Oh, and 1 infield back. Throwing 99 again, but a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Waiting on deck, Justin Turner. Yasiel Puig, an interested observer right now. And the 1-1 pitch coming up. On the hands with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count 1-2. Fastball, foul back. Now he hits 101 according to the gun. I didn't know he threw that hard. I knew that he threw in the high 90s. That's a 4-seamer. Then he has the 2-seamer that he can throw to 95. That's the one that sinks. And he has a curveball and a changeup. And he misses to go 2-2. As they call, he has an electric arm. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 5th. Big pitch. He doesn't want to go 3-2. Line drive into right field, base hit. Crawford will score, and that's it. Everybody else will go up 90 feet. So the Dodgers lead 2-1. Corey gets a base hit, and the bases remain loaded. Justin Turner coming up. The Corey Seager, atoning for the 2 errors, comes up with that line drive base hit to drive in 1. Everybody moves up as Crawford brings the run home. Kazmir is now at 3rd. Utley is at 2nd. Seager at 1st. Here's Turner, 2 ground balls. Grounded to 1st, grounded to 2nd, hitting .241. In case you wonder, Turner does not have a grand slam. Off speed for a strike. So after throwing 100, he starts him off at 88. 2-1 Dodgers, 5th inning. Another off-speed pitch, but it was up. That was his curveball. One hit was the bunt single by Kazmir, and then the other, the clean single by Seager. Fastball. Boom at 99. Martinez, coming into the game, had walked 11 and struck out 30. Showing the ball, he just lets it hang by his right leg, not behind his hip. Fastball at 100. Dean Kiekeffer, a left-hander, throwing in the bullpen. Kiekeffer was brought up last night, but he got caught in traffic, and he didn't get to Dodger Stadium until the middle of the game last night. This will be the 70th pitch coming up here in the 5th inning. Carl Crawford, who began it with a walk, came around, scored the run. He didn't get trouble loosening up. Foul ball. 2-2. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cardinals. And Martinez working very hard. Lilliquist finding out whether Kiefer is ready. A 25-pitch inning. Waiting is Adrian Gonzalez, and that's a Kiefer, I guess, is getting ready to face. 2-2 to Justin Turner. Check swing. Missed. Ball 3. So this is certainly a moment of truth for Carlos Martinez. Crowd coming alive. Bases loaded, nobody out. 3-2 to Justin Turner, with the Dodgers leading 2-1. Fastball hit the right field and deep enough. Piscotty going back. Tagging up is Kazmir. He will score. Over to third goes Utley, and the Dodgers lead 3-1. And Turner gets the RBI.
Adrian Gonzalez.
So now Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Gonzalez hit a runaway fastball the other way into the left field pavilion. And apparently they are not going to bring in the kid left-hander down in the bullpen to face the veteran hitter. First and third, 1 out, 2 runs in, and the Dodgers take a 3-1 lead. Another left-hand hitter, although Grandal switches, on deck. So Utley at third, Seager at first. 0-1. Scott Kazmir opened it up with the bunt single, came around to score. No balls, 1 strike. Line foul upstairs. Seager has good running speed. He has stolen 1. He's been caught once. Utley standing at third. And on deck, Yasmani Grandal. For Martinez, a very excruciating inning. He's going to make his 30th pitch. Ball 1. Well, he can still throw 99. When he had that respiratory problem, they said he was dehydrated. So he wasn't very strong for very long. 1-2. Breaking ball. And in the dirt. That curveball came up there a little bit harder than we have been taught to look for. There it is. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Molina trying to nurse the kid through. First and third for the Dodgers. 2-2 to Adrian Gonzalez. Swung on and fouled back. It's a 20-minute half inning so far for Martinez. It probably feels like an hour. Two and two. Fastball foul back. Well, you're thinking, well, he's tiring, he's weak, he's been sick, and then he throws 99. Utley standing at third. Seager over at first. 1 out. Dodgers have scored twice and lead 3-1. Curveball. So he has given Adrian just about everything except a changeup. Fastball, fastball, curveball. Well, let's see. I think he's trying to buy a little time. He might be getting tired, but then again, maybe not. Let's see. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball, grounded foul. That was not his good fastball. You'd hate to think that it was a changeup, but I think it was. When you throw 100, I guess you can come back and throw an 89-mile-an-hour changeup. Well, Matheny knows him better than we do. Up here, looking down at him, he looks like he's tired. But Mike's not showing any sign that he sees fatigue. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There goes Seager, and the pitch fouled away. So the pitches are chewing him up out there. 2-2 the count. Over 30 pitches in the inning. He's been out there close to 25 minutes. He's made 9 pitches, and 6 of them have been foul balls. 2-2. Time. Molina wanted the time. I think that was supposed to be a curveball, and there was nothing on it. So Matheny, 1 step on the little staircase. Three and 2. Seager was going earlier. You got to believe he might be going now. Utley's over at third. Seager does not go on a ground foul. Boy, the last thing that young Carlos Martinez needs is a hitter fouling them off. 7 fouls, 11 pitches. He's got to be about 35 pitches in the inning. We can check. 38 pitches in the inning. Whoa. Well, he's 25. So the 39th pitch in the inning. Seager goes, and a big chop at Moss. He looked at second and then went to the bag. So Brandon Moss on a chopper where you thought they might go right to the plate. Instead, he turned, looked at second, saw he didn't have a play, then never mind about the runner scoring, and he just went to the bag. So the Dodgers are fortunate to get their third run of the inning after quite an at-bat. Well, Moss probably muttering a little bit to himself about, oh, I could have gone to the plate. So Gonzalez, after a tremendous at-bat, gets an RBI. 4-1 Dodgers, and here's Grandal. And he hits a hopper to short. Diaz stays with it, gets it to Moss, and that's the inning. What an at-bat by Adrian Gonzalez. He made a dozen pitches, did young Martinez. The Dodgers get 3. Moss allows 1 run to score. And at the end of 5, it's 4-1 Dodgers. It has been an important day in Dodger history. May the 14th, 1968, Don Drysdale shut out the Cubs, and that was the beginning of the 58 consecutive scoreless innings. Then in 1991, it was Fernando Valenzuela on this day. He beat Montreal 3-2, and that made his record 8 wins and no losses. For a rookie, that was dazzling, and it brought back a pitcher with the Boston Red Sox by the name of Dave "Boo" Ferris. And with that, let's go back and see what's going on the field. I'm sure Fernando could write a book on the condition of the Dodger mound, and apparently it was troublesome for the young right-hander Carlos Martinez. They have filled in some of the area around the rubber, but for Martinez, that's not going to make him feel any better. He made 40 pitches in the 5th inning. So that brings his pitch count up to 85. The Dodgers scoring 4 runs and picked up the gift run on the chopper to Brandon Moss. So 4 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 1 hit, remember, for the Cardinals. So for Martinez, his first 4 innings, he made 45 pitches, and in the 5th inning, he made 40. So he's obviously disappointed and tired. And now the Cardinals trying to come back. It'll be Piscotty, Holiday, and Moss. Steven batting .313. Fouled out, hit back to the box, 0 for 2. Off speed for a strike. Giants and D-backs are tied up 3-3 in the ninth. D-backs tied it up on a scoring fly ball. There's a pop fly into right. Here comes Puig, and he's there. So one away on a little fly ball to right.
Left fielder Matt Holliday.
And the batter Matt Holliday, who has struck out and grounded out, 0 for 2. Holliday last night had 2 base hits, lost another hit on a great play by Jock Peterson, and then last time up hit into a double play. Fastball hit on the hands down to short. Seager. 2 out in the 6th inning. You know, Monday, May 23rd at 7:10, Dodgers face the Reds. They'll be one of the first 40,000 in attendance and receive a Dodger neck pillow courtesy of Emirates Airline. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. 2 out, 6th inning. Dodgers lead 4-1. And here's Brandon Moss. Breaking ball missing. Moss struck out, fly to right. Ground ball, fair ball, picked up by Gonzalez. On the chalk all the way, and down he goes. So a very nice inning in the 6th. And now let's see about Carlos Martinez. Is he going to go back out there? I don't think so. And at the end of 5.5, 4-1 Dodgers. Something to smile about. Well, Penrod and Sam are here with us tonight. 4-1 in favor of the Dodgers. A left-hander by the name of Dean Allen Kiekhaefer. He's been pitching for the last 5 years. Been to Memphis for the last 2 years. He's 6 feet and about 175 pounds. He is built, and I think their idea is to make him a left-on-left receiver. You have a left-hand hitter in a tough spot, you bring him in. But tonight, after that 40-pitch 5th inning, they will bring Dean in now. Last night, he got stuck in traffic and didn't get here till the middle of the game. Kiekhaefer, 6 feet, 175 pounds, 27 years old, from Louisville, Kentucky. He went to the University of Louisville, and he'll be facing Jock Peterson. By the way, in contrast to the 40-pitch 5th inning of Martinez, Kazmir in the 6th inning went out and retired the side on 5 pitches. Well, now we see Kiefer side-arming that first pitch. I think that's going to be his specialty. They don't think he's big enough. Off speed, pop foul, 1-1. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. The Cardinals have 1 hit. That was a single by Jerko in the 3rd inning. One ball, 1 strike. Oh, an off-speed pitch. Jock way out in front. 1-2. Fastball, curve, and a changeup. That's about it. So for Peterson, he bites the dust. And we have 1 out here in the 6th inning. Jock going 0 for 3. Yasiel Puig made his presence known in the 2nd inning. Yasiel Molina hit a drive to right, and there's the great catch by Puig. He's made 3 of these, 2 against the Mets and now 1 tonight. With the bat, Puig grounded into a double play and grounded to third. Ball 1. High fly ball, very playable, and Piscotty will call. So 2 down here in the 6th inning, and with Peterson and Puig, Kike Hernandez now coming up.
Hitting for the Dodgers, number 14, Kike Hernandez.
Kike bringing up that right-handed bat to take place of Crawford's left-handed bat. And ball 1. Two out, 6th inning. Dodgers lead 4-1. Kike will probably stay in and finish up in left field. One and one. Fastball on the outside part. That's about as hard as he can pitch. Kiefer. After looking at Martinez, 99 and 100. Wow. Off speed, fouled away. Great location. Dodgers trying to do something with Kazmir tonight that they have not been able to do very often. The Dodgers have lost 5 of the previous 7 games that Scott has started, and that's strike 3 for the hitter Kike, and down he goes. So at the end of 6, well, hello, sunshine. Yeah, isn't things great? 4-1, Dodgers. The Cardinals 4-1 in the 7th, and they're not through with the Cardinals. Tomorrow at 5, they'll go at it again. Mike Leake going up against Alex Wood. Then the Angels are here Monday and Tuesday, and the Dodgers are there Wednesday and Thursday. Then it's off to San Diego, and then they'll come home and play 3 with Cincinnati. Kike is out there in left field now, finishing up for Crawford. And here is Molina, ground ball up the middle. Nice pick by Seager to throw him out. One away. With all the stuff that's going on,
center fielder number 15,
you look out, and Kazmir has allowed 1 hit. That was a clean single by Jed Jerko. Giants leading the D-backs 5-3 in the 9th inning. Buster Posey, a 2-out, 2-run double, and that game now moves to the bottom of the 9th. Grichuk struck out twice tonight. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Fastball sprayed foul. So it's an often moment for Grichuk after striking out twice. He has the count, no balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals have been very, very inconsistent so far in the first 37 games. Fastball, check swing, no swing. 2-2. Four to 1 Dodgers, 7th inning. The only run for the Cardinals, an error, a wild pitch, and a fly ball. Foul back. 2-base throwing error charged to Corey Seager. Then the wild pitch sent Jerko to third. And Martinez, the pitcher for the Cardinals, hit a fly ball to left field and picked up the run. So Roberts has to be very happy for what he sees with Kazmir. Changeup pulled inside third and down the line. The Grichuk, with 1 out, will have himself a stand-up double on the changeup. That is hit number 2 against Scott Kazmir. Just by the diving Turner. Howell and Coleman are up now in the Dodger bullpen, and the batter will be Jed Jerko, who singled a left and then reached on that 2-base throwing error by Seager and scored the Cardinals' only run. And that's going to be a soft line drive to Seager. Not really hit hard at all. 2 down. Aledmys Diaz coming up.
Shortstop, Aledmys Diaz.
Aledmys Diaz hit into a force play, got around to third, and walked. The Cardinals have scored 2 runs or less in 10 of the games they lost. They've been shut out 3 times. They've lost 6 when they scored only 1, and that's all they have tonight. Ruben Tejada coming out on deck. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1. So Tejada waiting on deck. He'll be hitting for the pitcher, Keith Heffer. And of course, there is Chase Utley. Nothing more to be said. Unless you've been in Guam for the last year. Fouled away. 0-2 the count to Diaz. Kazmir has made 86 pitches. Certainly that's not too many. But they're watching him carefully. Kazmir, his last 3 games, has pitched over 100 pitches. 113, 111. Last time out, 101. Changeup hit to the left of short. Seager's on it. That'll be that. No runs, 1 hit. The double by Grichuk on that changeup. And at the end of 6.5 innings, 4-1 Dodgers.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dodgers leading 4-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And the first pitch to Scott Kazmir, in for a strike. Kazmir threw 11 pitches, so he's only thrown 87 in 7 innings. That 5-pitch 6th inning certainly helped him. And he picked up his first hit this season. And it turned out to be a very important one back in the 5th inning. He tried to bunt following the walk to Crawford and finally dragged a bunt for a base hit. Then Utley walked. With the bases loaded, Seager singled to right for a run, Turner's fly ball to right for another run. And the Dodgers went on to score 3 and they lead 4-1. Of course, the Cardinals aren't going too far on 2 hits. That's all they have in 7 innings. 3-2 the count to Kazmir. Keith Heffer trying to get a left-hand hitting pitcher not known for his hitting. And that's strike 3 called. So Keith Heffer now has 3 strikeouts. Struck out Peterson, struck out Hernandez, Valdez and now Kazmir. And here's Chase Utley. Utley reached on the error by Moss in the first inning, hit by a pitch in the third, walked in the fifth. Sidearm fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. Big chopper foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow night, 5 p.m. ball game. Mike Leake, Alex Wood. Then the Angels will be here Monday and Tuesday nights. Dodgers will be in Anaheim Wednesday and Thursday night. And then the club goes to San Diego. Alex Wood wearing his hood, taking it in. Big curveball hit foul in and out of the Cardinal dugout. Last year the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5 out of 7. Though the Dodgers trying to return the favor, winning 8-4 and leading 4-1. Utley 0 for 1. Side armor missed, trying to pick up the outside corner. Final score in Arizona, the Giants 5 and the D-backs 3, so the Dodgers have to win to remain tied in first place. Interesting, the big blow in that game as Utley strikes out. Buster Posey a 2-out double, and for Buster Posey it was a shock. With runners in scoring position this year, the most reliable of the Giants, Posey was 5 for 35. That's a 143 batting average, but he won the game for them tonight. So the Giants have now won the first 3 of the 4-game series with Arizona. Check swing for a strike on Seager. For Arizona, they're struggling. They are 5 games now under 500. The D-backs have lost 4 straight, and they are 4 back of the Giants. 0-2. Four strikeouts for this young left-hander. High fly ball to deep center. Gritchett going back to the track at the wall. Leaps up. It is over. Home run for Seager, and the Dodgers lead 5-1. So Seager, who committed 2 errors tonight, has bounced back with 2 singles and a home run. So the errors obviously have not bothered him, and he'll get the 5. And the Dodgers have 5 to lead 5-1. Ruben Tejada is now coming out of the dugout, and we'll see. Now he starts to go back towards the dugout. So let's see. Mike Matheny making a double switch. So I'm looking at the lineup. Kiefhoffer will come out. If they take Diaz out, they can put the new pitcher at the bottom. And it's Sean Juan O coming in. We'll tell you about him, and we'll be right back. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We treat kids better. Justin Turner now going up against Son Wan-Oh. He's from South Korea. He became a Cardinal this year in January. He's a veteran, 33 years old. And he is 1 ball and 1 strike now at that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Foul back. Justin Turner has grounded out twice and had a scoring fly ball to drive in a run. One ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. Son Wan-Oh will be 34 years old in July. Fastball hit in the air to center. Grichuk going back. He has a play. No, that'll do it. And we're heading for the 8th inning. 5-1 Dodgers. Two hits and 1 run, the run unearned. That was a 2-base throwing error by Corey Seager. A wild pitch got Jerko to third, and the fly ball by Martinez scored him. Ruben Tejada will come up and start it off. You can imagine his thoughts and the thoughts of Chase Utley. Tejada suffering a broken leg. Traded from the Mets to the Cardinals, and here he is. Off speed for a strike. Ruben Dario Tejada. He's from Panama, 6-footer, 185. He'll be 27 September 1. Fastball away. He's posted several years where he hit 280. Last year with the Mets, he hit 261. Swings late, 1-2. Scott Kazmir backed up in the bullpen. Chris Hatcher is up. Paid attendance tonight, 48,459 as Hatch gets ready. And Tejada bites the dust, one away. Tejada batting ninth, and Carpenter coming up.
Third baseman number 13, Matt Carpenter.
Kazmir, not an overpowering pitcher by any means, but he is noodled along to strike out 5. And here's Carpenter. Fly to center, sacrificed, and flied to left. Off speed, strike, 0-1. Matt, a terrific player, and just wore the Dodgers out in the postseason. No balls, 1 strike. Check, they look, no swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Five runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. Two and 1. Cardinals are 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Oh, they've really struggled here against Kazmir. Fastball on the hands, good pitch at 93. 2-2. Carpenter, a wonderful player for the Cardinals, and in this day and age of high bonuses, it's hard to believe that he signed for $1,000. One of the 16 men in the major leagues wearing number 13. Two and 2. Kazmir now 95 pitches, so that might determine how long he's going to be in the game as he strikes out Carpenter. 6 strikeouts for him. By the way, follow Dodger Baseball live with the MLB.com at bat. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and so much more. Download MLB.com at bat. That's the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. So here's Piscotty, 0 for 3 and a strike. Mike Leake and Alex Wood tomorrow night at 5. Fastball, still got it at 93. The big thing for Kazmir tonight, he has pretty much stayed ahead of his hitters. He has only walked 1, and he has struck out 6. Oh and 2 for the boy from Stanford, and he bangs it into right center. Base hit. Puig cuts it off and throws off balance, a 1-hopper to second base. Wow, that's amazing. He loves to show his arm off. Watch this. He's got his back to the infield. He's going to backhand it, throw on the run. 1 hop. Pretty good stuff. All right, Piscotty, a 2-out single to right, and that'll bring up Matt Holliday. KV Vacuba. Viva Puig. Right. 0-1 to Matt. Holliday struck out twice, grounded out. Kept him quiet enough last night. He still had 2 singles. Not boring to repeat. Every time Holiday comes here, we remember the home run he hit back of the Dodger bullpen where the 3 sisters, the palm trees, are. The home run was estimated to be 481 feet. And a 1-hopper to Seager. Short hops and goes to first. So another wonderful inning by Scott Kazmir. 2 strikeouts, a base hit, and a ground out. And at the end, a 7.5, 5-1 Dodgers. Performance by Scott Kazmir tonight. Dodgers lead 5-1, and from the looks of things, there's no one throwing in the Dodger bullpen. So Scotty, even though he has made 102 pitches, might go out there for the 9th inning. And ball 1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Singled, homered, grounded out. 2 for 3. There are his numbers: 102 pitches, half a dozen strikeouts, and only 1 walk. 1-1 the count. O has a lot of pitches, including a splitter. He was a big man both in Korea and in Japan. He would always come in and relieve, picking up a save. One and two. Still 1-2. Son Hwan Oh from South Korea. Martinez, who labored and labored fruitlessly, had a 40-pitch inning in the 5th. 2-2. Though Martinez figures to lose unless the Cardinals can get off the mat. They are due Moss, Molina, and Grichuk in the 9th inning. Came back with a fastball and throws pretty hard. O is 5'10", checks in at 205 pounds. Slider, curve, fastball, splitter. Fouled away right over the head of Chris Woodward. And that's lined down the line, but foul. Fastball at the knees. Still 2-2. 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. On the hands, pull to Moss. He'll do it himself. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th.
Catcher number 9.
Giants won, so the Dodgers have to win to remain tied in first place. Dodgers trying to win their 20th game and get to 3 games above 500. Bob Guerin, the bench coach. Dave Roberts making his notes. On the hands, fouled away. Grandal struck out, grounded out, struck out again, 0 for 3. Martinez, Kiekhaefer, and O. One and one. Of course, one of the great names in Japanese baseball, great home run hitter, Sadaharu O. Fastball. 1-2. This O is very experienced. He'll be 34. Pitched a ton in South Korea and Japan. Always a closer, a saver. 1-2. In on the hands, and he's done. So Gonzalez grounded out. Grandal strikes out. And with 2 down, Jock Peterson coming up. Peterson tonight walked, flied to left, struck out. Dodgers with 6 hits. Seager has 3. Gonzalez has 2. And Kazmir has a single. So the Dodgers really haven't done much hitting. And of course the Cardinals haven't done any. 1 run, 3 hits. Strike. Chasing a bad ball in the count, 0-2. Peterson, 6 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Came in hitting .261. And he's given up a couple of points. Bunt, foul, down he goes. So Peterson strikes out. 2 strikeouts for O. And we're heading to the 9th inning. And so is Scott Kazmir, leading 5-1. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop online at choosenissan.com. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the Bacon-licious sourdough bacon ranch combo. Only at Jack in the Box. Ninth inning, 5-1 Dodgers. Kazmir pitching to Brandon Moss for ball one. Remember the story we told you about at the start of the game? 2012. Scott Kazmir was pitching for the Sugar Land Skeeters against the York, Pennsylvania Revolution in 2012. And in that game, in the first inning, all of a sudden he threw 88, 89, and he felt he might come back. Well, here he is. Moss struck out, flied to right, grounded to first, hitting .227. And down goes Moss. 7 strikeouts for Kazmir. That day that he was pitching for the Sugar Land Skeeters, in the first inning, suddenly he was throwing 88 and 89. And by the time the 5th inning came around in that game, he was throwing 94 and 96. And he felt he could come back, and here he is. Molina lost a hit on a diving catch by Puig, lined out to left and grounded to short. The only hits, Piscotty had a single to right, Grichuk had a double to left, and Jerko had a single to left, and that has been the Cardinal offense. Right. 1-1. Kenley Jansen is standing up in the bullpen, but he's just a spectator. He has not thrown a pitch. 1-1. Fastball missed. Kazmir had something else driving for him tonight. Dodgers had lost 5 of his 7 starts. So he's trying to be a winner, and he's close. 1 out. Fastball fouled away. The pitch count now is up to 110. So with that, Jansen will make a pitch, then stop and throw. Dave Roberts counting and watching. 2-2. Fastball and a big chopper up along third. It goes foul. So Molina will have to come back, try it again. Final game of the 3-game series. That'll be tomorrow. 5 p.m. Mike Leake and Alex Wood. Wood wearing the hood, so can't recognize him, but that's he. Leake is 1-3. So is Alex Wood. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's about as hard as he has thrown. Been 93. He got his body into that one, but that was more of a throw than a pitch. He almost spun off the mound. 3-2, so I'm sure he's pushing it now. 112 pitches. Big chopper to Seager. Well, 1 out away from a complete game.
15,
he's had to work hard. 113 pitches, but he's had 3 hits and just 1 walk while striking out 7. He had 1 tough inning, the 5th inning, 21 pitches, but that's nothing compared to the 5th inning. for Martinez, who made 40 pitches. Off speed, took a lot off. Grichuk has struck out twice, got a changeup and double the left in the 7th inning. Scotty trying to balance his books. A victory tonight would make him 3-3. He'd be 2-0 lifetime. The other victory was back in 2010 when he was pitching against the Cardinals for the Angels. One and one to Randall Grichuk. Two and one. Well, that pitch count's really up there now. 116. Fastball under his glove, through into center field. So now let's see what that means. They want to let him go all the way. And now Roberts seemed to say, okay, all right. 117, but he's got 2 out, leading by 4. Almost made the play, but probably a little weary to get the glove down. Jeremy Hazelbaker will be coming up.
Number 41, Jeremy Hazelbaker.
So Hazelbaker, left-hand batter, checking in, hitting .274. 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Runner goes, they'll not pay any attention to him. So not a stolen base. Defensive indifference. Hazelbaker, originally drafted by the Red Sox. He's from Muncie, Indiana. Went to school at Ball State. 1-1. Hazelbaker has had 751 minor league games. He was once released in Double-A and drives one to right. Back goes Puig, and this one is gone. Hazelbaker hits one out. Dodgers still lead, but now it's 5-3, and Roberts on the steps, and it looks like that Kazmir will have come to the end of the journey for tonight. Hazelbaker now has 7 home runs, 18 runs batted in, and here comes Dave. But a tremendous performance by Scott Kazmir. So Scotty goes out with 2 out in the 9th inning, and it's music to his ears, I'm sure, to hear the ovation from the crowd as he makes his way to the dugout. And with that, we'll be back. Hours ago was here in the ballpark with his little baby wearing a Dodger jersey with number 74 on it. Had a nice long restful evening until now. And with 2 out in the 9th inning, the 10th home run that Kazmir has given up this year sends him out after a wonderful effort. He made 120 pitches tonight. Way back 11 years ago, he had his career high 121. So this was quite a night for Scotty. And now Diaz facing Jansen. Foul back. Aledmys Diaz with Matt Adams on deck. Very, very good looking hitter. And the numbers tell you that. (5-3) Dodgers. 9th inning, 2 out. Fouled away. So Diaz now in a hole. 0-2. The only Cardinal run prior to tonight occurred on a 2-base error, a wild pitch and a fly ball. So it took them a while to muscle up a little, and Hazelbaker hit a 2-run home run. 0-2. Got him. So Jansen comes in, strikes out Diaz, and the ball game is over. The totals: 5 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Cardinals. Kenley Jansen used 3 pitches to turn out the lights. Tomorrow night, the final game at 5 o'clock, and that'll be Mike Leake and Alex Woods, and certainly, without a doubt, player of the game, Scott Kazmir. So the Dodgers now have won 2 in a row against the Cardinals. Giants have won a couple, so they're still tied in first place. And tomorrow night, game 3. And remember, after tomorrow night, the Dodgers play 10 straight games against 3 last place teams. San Diego, along with Anaheim and Cincinnati. Well, till then, hope you had a nice evening. We wish you all a very pleasant good evening, everybody.